was nowhere. The angel did say was too certain for shepherds in fields as they lay in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep.
Hello, Merry Christmas and welcome back to Church Online. With just under 2 weeks to go, it definitely feels like Christmas now more than ever. Although I seem to be starting Christmas earlier every year. For me, my Christmas season is now getting filled with regular highlights, which now seem to start around mid-November with me walking into a forest and selecting the community Christmas tree. Followed by the big switch on service, then Classic FM starts playing Christmas carols. But sadly this year there'll be no nativity play and no in-person carol service, but that just means we have more time to plan a bigger service for next year. So yes, let me state the obvious, Christmas 2020 for some might be a little different, but think of how joyous next year's festivities will be, and you know all we'll be doing is thinking and looking back to the great Christmas pandemic of 2020, the sacrifices we made for our safety and to keep the people we love safe. This year, just like the last, 12 years, I'll be at home with Holly and Charlie, enjoying Christmas Day, eating way more than I should, and trying to build something with Lego before Charlie knocks it down. We'll give the parties a miss this year and party harder next year. Life, thankfully, still goes on, and just because we can't do some things or other things aren't advised, life still goes on, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for a lot this year considering the sacrifices we've had to make to get through this current situation. So trust me when I say we will party harder next year. We'll have so much to be thankful for this time next year. But even this year, yeah, right now you might be thinking this is the worst year ever, and you might be right in part. But we all have so much to be thankful for, and even going into Christmas there's still a lot to be joyful about. So much to be thankful for, so much to be joyous about, it should easily bring a smile to your face. And you know what they say about smiling? It's like yawning. It is contagious. Imagine being the person just like everyone who's went through this current situation, but instead of contributing to the doom and gloom or about the current situation or a shot in the arm, instead of being like the rest of them, you choose to be different. A friend of mine once preached that there's more to life than talking about the weather. So when I say there is more to life than letting this current situation rule you, there is. But what if you didn't just imagine it? What if you actually changed your way of thinking and brought forth joy from a joyful heart? In the face of all the negativity, you brought forth joy. The Bible talks a lot about joy, and here's some examples I found from the book of Psalms. In Psalm chapter 5 verse 11, "But let all those rejoice who put their trust in you. You let them shout for joy because you defend them. Let those also who love your name be joyful in you." Psalm 16:11, "You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Psalm 30 verse 5, "Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes in the morning." Psalm 126 verse 2, "Then our mouth was filled with laughter and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them." Jesus wants us to be joyful. Think about it. Even my dad touched on this a few weeks ago in his conversation. How can we be attractive to the world? How can we be a light to the world if we're just like the darkness in the world? The best example of praising during the bad times is Paul, when he finds himself in prison again, and this time they're ready to throw the key away, and he knows this. So what does he do? Does he let his current situation dictate to him, or does he literally go and praise his way out of captivity? So what's your captivity today? Is it this current situation? Fear? Fear of the unknown? My Bible tells me that Jesus will show me the path of life. After all, he is the way of life. My Bible tells me that Jesus will fill me with joy in his presence and give me eternal happiness with him forever. In case you haven't got it yet, there is joy to be found in Jesus. And there's no better time to think about Jesus than right now, the time of the year when we all come to celebrate his birthday. Now, don't get me wrong, it's hard. There will be times when life will knock you off your feet. But right there is the choice we make to get back up again or remain on the ground. Now, we'll need strength to get back up on our feet again. And, well, like it says in Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 10, "Do not sorrow, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Jesus is teaching us to be happy and joyful, even in the face of uncertain times, because someone who has a joyful heart doesn't have time to compare themselves to other people. You know, did you see what she commented under that post? Did you hear he refuses to wear a mask? See, if I ever get to preach on Sunday, I'll not be wearing a hat. Let me tell you, joyful people enjoy life regardless. Now, that's not saying that during this situation, during our current situation, you don't have to play your part. We all need to do our bit in killing this thing. Life is about putting in, receiving, and dealing with the outcome. And with Jesus is teaching us to be joyful regardless of the outcome. At times, I may not be the most joyous person to be around. I try my best, which is all anybody can do. In the Psalms, David writes that we must rejoice and be glad. So here's a question for us all. Are we a joyful person? Even now, heading into the most wonderful time of the year, singing and celebrating about the birth of Jesus, even for us believers, that should automatically bring us joy. If you have Jesus in your heart, you have access to joy. And if you don't have Jesus in your heart, and you're watching this today, Jesus said, "These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full." Not half empty, full. Jesus knows this isn't the life meant for us. And so he came to save us, to rescue us, to set us free, to take us from darkness into light. If you're struggling for joy right now, I challenge you that you haven't fully let go and given your control, given your entire heart to Jesus. Even if you hold back just a tiny piece, you can't really expect to walk in all of his promises, can you? Don't hold back. The Bible tells me that Jesus does nothing but save us. He does nothing but offer us his love, and he wants his joy to remain in us and be full. If you're not strong enough, let go and let Jesus in. It's strength that you need, and you'll find strength in joy. Joy is all you need, and specifically the joy of the Lord, Jesus' joy. I love to be around people who are so full of joy because, like I said, it's contagious. So I want to encourage you today. Be joyful. You don't need to worry about being contagious or passing that on. Smile, even under your mask. Smiling, laughter, being positive, it isn't wrong or frowned upon. We live in a country of freedom where we can smile and we can promote positivity in our circles, online or offline. You see, in the Bible, the Pharisees, they used to condemn people because they were so joyful. Isn't that crazy? But you know why? The enemy knows we find our strength in the joy of the Lord, which is why he sent the Pharisees and people like that in this day and age to condemn us, to put us down and make us feel like we're doing something wrong just for being joyful and having a smile on our face. So, see, if you want to smile and laugh more, don't worry about them. They hated Jesus. They might hate us too. But remember, we're the total opposite. So let's be the total opposite. The joy of the Lord keeps your heart in good condition. And when we think of all the blessings we have in Jesus Christ, it shouldn't be that hard to crack a smile, rejoice and be joyful. We should always be enjoying what God has given us. Show it. Wear it on your sleeve for people to see. Post it on Facebook or wherever for people to read. Who cares if they like it or not? The fact is, you've taken what Jesus has given you and you're offering it to your friends. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 to 16, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavour, how shall it be seasoned? it is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light and your joy spill out for all to see. Be that joyful person who people love being around because you're the encouragement to others. Leave that negativity in the gutter. Get stronger by smiling. Get stronger by laughing. Get stronger by enjoying the life and everything Jesus has given you, regardless of the current situation. Over the next few days, make more of an effort to see the joyous side of your life. And if you can't find something to smile about, take a good look at yourself in the mirror and ask, why so serious? Make it your mission this season to smile. You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you'll just smile. With the joy of Jesus, you'll find strength to live for Him and be salt of the earth. Now, next Sunday is our carol service, and just a heads up, it'll premiere on YouTube at 6:30 p.m, so you can turn the lights down and set the mood. Ian and the production team are currently working extremely hard to make something special for everyone to enjoy. And yes, it's a little different, and it might feel a little different, maybe to last year, but come on, being different, that's normal for us. Have a Merry Christmas.